The Knicks just finished beating the Orlando Magic and proving that the Orlando Magic is our sons. And I'm here to break it all down. What's up, guys? Let's get right into today's video. Listen, before I get into the stats, before I talk about Jalen Brunson's game, before I talk about Karl Anthony Towns' game, what I want to harp on, I want to talk about the physicality and that feeling that it brought back. The feeling that it brought back of the 2000s NBA. Mo Wagner and Cat going back and forth. You got Jalen Brunson and Jalen Suggs going back and forth. And something that I thought about during this game is like the viewership for the NBA has been down. Like it's been down pretty bad. I just saw something the other day and the percentages were really bad. I think they were down like 25% compared to last year, something like that. But one of the reasons why I think the ratings is down is one, everybody plays the same. Everybody's shooting threes. Everybody is just 5 out pretty much. That's one reason. Two is there's just nothing that makes the NBA special anymore. Even though I was born in '89, I didn't really see much of the '90s NBA. But when you go back to the '90s, like there was a superstar in a lot of different teams. Portland, you had Clyde Drexler. Phoenix, you had Charles Barkley. Obviously, Chicago, you had Jordan. Here in New York, we had Patrick Ewing. Indiana had Reggie Miller. The Lakers in the 90s, I mean, the Lakers were kind of in a downtime. But having said all that, they had their superstars, but they also had an identity to the team. It was either a post player, it was either guards, it was like a mixture of a lot of different things. Whereas nowadays it's just like, yo, whoever shoots the most threes and makes the most threes is gonna win the game. So that's part of the reason why I think the viewership is down in the NBA. But another reason is people want to see some physicality, bro. People want to see other players going at other players. People want to see the little tension that they have during the game. And in tonight's game, there were moments where I thought like, yo, Mo Wagner really doesn't like Cat and vice versa. Cat really doesn't like Mo Wagner. And I can say the same thing for Jalen Suggs and Jalen Brunson. There were times during the game where Jalen Suggs was up in Jalen Brunson's shirt. And albeit it might have been a bad decision because it ended up causing him to foul out of the game. But Jalen Suggs, he doesn't care. He's going to play his heart out. He's going to lace him up, and he's going to let you know that he's here in front of you and he's going to stop you. And that's what I love to see. So this Orlando Magic team going up against the Knicks tonight, like they brought the physicality, being without Paolo and Franz Wagner. Jalen Suggs is looked at as the best player on the team right now. He just didn't have it tonight. But man, those little moments between Cat and Mo Wagner specifically, like we saw it last week. Was it last week, I believe? In the NBA Cup, where the Orlando Magic, they actually came into New York and they lost to New York. But there was a moment in that game where Cat and Mo Wagner, they were going back and forth down low, and Cat was just bodying him, and then Mo Wagner got called for the foul, and Mo Wagner started clapping in Cat's face, and then Cat was clapping back in his face. That is what fans want to see, man. The fans want to see some sort of emotion out of the players. They want to see the players not be so robotic, and that sparks another idea in my mind. The refs. The NBA has gotten so soft. Like if you dunk and you just look at the person that you dunked on, you're getting an automatic tech. Like the NBA, Adam Silver, he's done a lot for the players as far as back-to-backs, as far as the NBA Cup and the money incentives. All that stuff is cool. But I guarantee you that if Adam Silver makes a really big change in the way that the refs call these games, let the physicality back in the game, and on top of that, when someone dunks on somebody, if someone gets a really big block and that player starts talking trash, let it go. Order the refs to let it go. Get this soft stuff out of here. Trying to prevent any fights being. No, let it go, man. NBA players, they don't want to fight, man. They just nice little shoving match, and the next thing you know, like their teammates are surrounding them, trying to separate them. They don't want to come across as soft. So there's that sweet spot in between where you could just like, jaw back and forth with the other player. And that's what the NBA needs, in my opinion. They need some of that rawness back in the game. And like I said to start off this video, that's what I saw in this game between Cat and Mo Wagner, between Jalen Suggs and Jalen Brunson. Like that's what we need back in the game. It kind of sucked to see Mo Wagner and Cat, like I think within the last minute of the game, they were lined up at the free throw. I think it was Jalen Brunson at the line, and I kind of got upset that I saw Mo Wagner and Cat talking, and like it seemed like they were like just like chill about it. I kind of want to keep that tension between them, but whatever. So those are some of the takeaways that I had for the game. Now to break down the game specifically and talk about who played well and why we got the win. I mean, Cat had a nice bounce back game, 22 points, 7 of 15 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3-point line, converting 7 of his 7 free throws. He had 22 rebounds, so he had a strong double-double, 22 and 22. Salute to Cat. Those those three-pointer attempts is surprising. Only 3-point attempts, which is interesting because he's always around anywhere between 8 to 10. And like I keep saying in every video, I think the 5 to 8 range for Cat is a sweet spot. If he extends it to 9, that's cool, but I definitely want to see him mix it up. But tonight he only had 3. I mean, he ended up with a W and he had 22 and 22. So salute to Cat. Love that. The minutes for Cat, we're looking at 43. Yikes. Jalen Brunson had a stellar game, 31 points, 8 of 18 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3-point line, 11 of 14 from free throws. Finished the game with 3 rebounds and 5 assists. He played 38 minutes. The rest of the starting 5, Josh Hart played 33. OG Anunoby played 37. Mikal Bridges, 41. If you guys watch the happy hour that Chris and I and Matt do every Friday, one of the topics that we always talk about, we talk about the minutes that Tibbs is putting these players under. And it's just, today is just another example. There's not really much that he can do. The players that he's depending on right now, he's depending on Campaign, Miles McBride, and Precious. Those are the only 3 players that played in tonight's game coming off the bench. Precious played 18, Campaign played 10, and Miles McBride Why am I calling him Miles McBride? It's the deuce is loose, baby. He played 21 minutes, and it's interesting. The 3 players that came off the bench for tonight's game, Deuce had the best game, but if you look at his box score, it's pretty icky. We're looking at 7 points, 2 of 6 from the field, converting both of his 3-point shots, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, finishing with 2 rebounds and 1 assist. And then Precious Achiuwa added 4 points, 1 of 3 from the field, took 1 3-point shot. He didn't make that. 2 free throws, 5 rebounds. He played 18 minutes. Deuce played 21 minutes. Campaign played 10 minutes where he had no points. He had 2 rebounds and 2 assists. So you guys know how I feel about Campaign. I'm not super confident in him. Tonight was a bad game. He's been playing okay for the season, but I mean, Chris is really, really high on Campaign. And I know this is the regular season, but that box score for Campaign is not looking good, my guy. But bringing up the bench players, Precious, Cam, and Deuce, they didn't really play well, and we still ended up getting the W. And the Orlando Magic, even though they're without Paolo and Franz, like it's a decent win. We'll take the wins as many wins as we can get. We're gonna take them. But again, man, that starting 5, man. Mikal 41 minutes, OG 37, Cat 43, Jalen Brunson 38, and Josh Hart with 33. Josh Hart at 33, that's surprising, but I'm just thinking about the bigger picture, and by the time April comes around, depending on what we do with trades, depending on who we get back, like it's going to be very interesting to see just how this season ends up going into playoffs. We always got to keep in mind about OG Anunoby's durability. Cat, the last few seasons, was it last season? I think it was last season where he had a really bad calf strain and he missed like anywhere 20 to 25 games to start off the season last season with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I don't want to say he's injury prone, absolutely not, but there's always that little, you always got to have that thought in the back of your mind with Cat. Mikal Bridges is still doing his Iron Man thing. I think Mikal Bridges is good for now, and I think he'll be fine when the playoffs come around. Brunson, no really injury-prone stuff with Jalen Brunson, but again, man, just these minutes is just piling up, man. And Cat had a nice bounce-back game, but one of the reasons why we lost that NBA Cup game on Wednesday to Atlanta was because Cat just looked exhausted. He looked tired, exhausted, worn down. Jalen Johnson, the DeAndre Hunters, the Dyson Daniels, they just kept attacking him, which led him to foul out. And tonight was a nice bounce back. He had a few days off, so he was able to stay in the game without fouling out. That's definitely a positive. But you also, the Orlando Magic, I don't think they really their game plan should have been to attack Cat, get him off the floor. And I don't think they really honed in on that. And now I believe we don't play until Thursday, which we're in Minnesota. That'll be an interesting game. That's going to be Cat's first game back in Minnesota since the trade. But before I close out the video, if we didn't lose on Wednesday to Atlanta, we would have played yesterday against Milwaukee. And if we beat Milwaukee, we would have played on Tuesday for the championship. But now, since we lost on Wednesday, we play today, and then we don't play it again until Thursday. I wanted the Knicks to get to the finals, and if they won it, absolutely would have been ecstatic. But they're gonna get some rest now, which 100% Cat is gonna need it. The whole starting five, especially the starting five. It's going to be something that they desperately need. It's going to be something that is definitely going to help us in the long run. But I just wish we made it to the finals. Look, if you guys watched the NBA Cup games yesterday, and you just saw how, like, just the media coverage around it with, Stephen A., Malika Andrews, and Kendrick Perkins, and then you had that inside the NBA crew. And then when you actually watch the game, it was like the NBA court, it was almost like it was a Broadway play, and the stage was lit, and then everything else around the stage was just dark. So the complete focus was on the players. And again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but I just would have liked to see the Knicks in that situation, which we haven't had them in that situation in a while. But, next year is another year. Hopefully we'll be able to at least get to the semifinals next year. And now the focus is on the Larry O'Brien Trophy. We're still a ways away until that. But guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Make sure to hit that thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about the Knicks' effort tonight against the Orlando Magic. But until next time, you guys know the drill. You know the vibes. And I'll check you out in the next video. Peace.